Hey everybody, wanted to do a quick summary of my today's events at Capitol Reef. Pretty eventful, but anyway, I'm currently in a what they call dispersed camping area, which just means it's free and it's open and there's no charges and you can just do whatever you want, but there's no hookups or anything, so that's cool, and I don't need that. So I'm relaxing. I just had dinner, getting ready to go to bed. But today's events were pretty cool. I went and did a couple different arches. So that was the, let me see, the Cassidy arch and the, what's the other one? Brickman arch, something like that. Hickman arch. Both of them were awesome. So the Hickman arch was fine. I tried to get up on top of the arch, but there's no way you can do it. So you'll see my scrambling trying to waste my time getting up there, but it was fun. I did expect to spend a lot of time there, so I didn't bring any water or anything, so that was kind of stupid, but anyway, I learned my lesson. The second one was the Crowe arch, which is very cool. A lot of people were rappelling down a mountain climb, or they call it canyoneering, I think is what they call it, and it's not something I have done, but I wanted to do it. Something that I think if I was younger I would have gotten into. I love the scrambling up the rocks and stuff, so I think I really would enjoy doing the canyoneering type thing, so maybe it's something I'll have to look into. Anyway, the scare that I had is that on the Cassidy arch, I was hiking up and I don't think I was paying good attention. I was watching my all trails and everything, and I was hiking up, and then I got into some situations where I'm like, this can't be right. I'm on a cliff and hundreds of feet down, and I'm thinking this can't be right because I'm right on the edge, and I was getting afraid. This can't be right. And what ended up happening was that I took a left at some point when I should have taken a right. There was a staircase and I missed it, but there were still trails that I followed, so it didn't make sense to me. And so my all trails usually will tell me that I'm off track. It'll give you a warning. It'll say, hey, you're off track. You need to go check yourself. And it didn't do that. And the reason why it didn't do that was because I was still on track, but I was like 50 feet down, but I was still on the same track as the all trail, so it didn't alert me that I was off track. And then eventually when I got to a point, it started diverging, and I noticed I'm off track, and I'm going, well, how could that happen? Anyway, long story short, it was a little bit scary, and I felt like I was a mouse in a maze, where you go down one trail and you come to a dead end and you can't go any further, so you got to go back. And so then I went down another trail, and I got off trail again and went to another dead end. I couldn't get, people were up high were trying to help me, but there's nothing they could really do. Finally just had to stop, check in, zoom in on my all trails and kind of figure out where the hell did I get off track. Finally found, if I zoomed in really close on my all trails, I found this little place where I could circumvent and had to do a little rock scramble and get back up onto the right trail. It was like 20 feet, but I had to find that spot. And if I zoomed in really close on all trails, it showed me that you can get back on trail. So I got back on trail, and that was fine and everything. But for a while there, I was kind of getting a little bit panicked, but I just tried to check in and just say, just stop, relax, and figure out where you're going. So anyway, it was great. Saw some great arches today. Hope you enjoy just watching the video of them. I know I'm trying to cut these down so they're not so long, but anyway, I'm having a great time. Very challenging, and I love it. Well, I'm heading out on my second hike for today in Capitol Reef National Park. This is called Cassidy Arch. It should be a short hike. Right now there's a little bit of cloud cover, but it's pretty hot out here. That's why I don't have a shirt on. It keeps me cool, and
I think it's about 92 degrees, but right now it's not that hot because of the cloud cover. I just started the hike and already seeing some pretty cool stuff. I get back on the trail here. But yeah, this place is crowded today. Parking lot, I had to wait to get a parking spot. But I've learned how to do that. You just pull into the parking lot, and if it's full, you just kind of stop somewhere where you're not in the way and wait for someone to leave, because they will. Anyway. Well, I'm taking a little bit of a breather. Had a bit of a scare. This is quite a steep hike, but I'm climbing up the side of a mountain, cliffs, and I was following my all trails, and I thought I was on track, but I wasn't. And then I noticed I didn't see anybody on the trail, which kind of concerns me. And this is a very crowded place. I ended up, this is the trail, so I'm back on track now, but I was way down there, and there were a couple spots where I'm like, just had inches to get around a cliff area. I said to myself, I go, that is way too dangerous. And so I heard some people, and so I looked up where I am now. I looked up and saw them. So I yelled out to them, and they helped me get back on track. But then I got off track again, trying to get on track. Lost them. Had to backtrack again. Finally had to scramble up a little side trail to get on trail. So lessons learned on these types of hikes. You need to really pay close attention to the all trails, and you know they're not always that accurate, but I thought I was on trail, and clearly I wasn't. Anyway, I'm back on, but I'm worn out having to do all that scrambling, so I probably went an extra, I don't know, half mile just trying to get back on track. But I'm almost there. So I'm trying to figure out where I got off track. Anyways, I was pretty scared and starting to panic a little bit. But let me see here. So if you look across, you'll see people hiking up on that trail. Pretty benign trail. And then it loops up to where I am right now. You go around the valley. Let me see, go around this valley and then come up where I am. I ended up being, so let me get the picture back in the frame. I ended up way down on the cliff farther, down there somewhere. And I was on very narrow trails. There were still trails there. It looked like trails. And I was, doing a lot of rock climbing, but I ended up being like on a little ledge, like 6 inches. And I would have to jump over like a 3-foot section that broke down to get to the other side of the trail. And that's when I knew something was wrong. I'm going, there's no way that would be a trail that you'd put just normal everyday people on, and even people like me. Well, I'm normal every day. Anyway, I started panicking. I started heading back, and then I heard voices up on the cliff, and there was nobody around. I was all by myself. And then saw some people up there, yelled for them. They tried to help me get back on track, but then I got lost again trying to get back on track. Finally, I backtracked, being off track, found a place where I could kind of circumvent the trail and get back on trail, but I had to do a little scramble to get up there. Honestly, I was pretty scared, but I figured it out. I didn't panic, but couldn't figure out where I was and how I was going to get back. Well, finally, I made it. I almost walked right by it, but here it is. Man, that's steep. I guess you can climb down there. Not sure how. Oh my God, I'm getting dizzy. They're rappelling though, so maybe you can't get down there without rappelling. Anyway, that's pretty damn cool. This one I can go on top of it.